Alright, so I'm going to talk about some more late news, probably because there was so much of it, you need to just really process. I was actually going to talk about this Monday, but then Shang-Chi happened, and I was like, you know what, this can wait another day, and there's probably going to be more information coming, so I'll give it another day and just talk about Shang-Chi. So, let's talk about all the news that came out for Resident Evil. It's safe to say that 2021 will be the year of evil. Although, to be fair, I think 2020 already took that moniker. It's mostly because, yes, this is the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. So it stands to reason that they're going to go all out with all of the shit that comes out for Resident Evil. So let's talk about the major thing with Resident Evil Village. So Resident Evil Village, we got a full-on trailer. We got more of Step on Me, Mommy. Yeah, there's... it's funny how, it's funny how this character, Lady Dimitrescu, has basically become, like, the internet's new waifu. Like, she's literally become the internet's new waifu. Like, I think she's awakened some people, awakened something in this, awakened some things in some people. Like, some people are realizing... I never realized that a step on me fetish until now, and there's even a scene in this trailer where she steps on the she steps on the main character. I was like, y'all know what you're doing. Y'all know exactly what you're doing with this character. So yeah, I'm really excited for Resident Evil Village. Biohazard was a really good game, and it looks more like, from what I understand, is that Resident Evil is going to be taking more of a anthology theme rather than just numbers. So it looks like this isn't gonna be like, even though it's Resident Evil 8, the following Resident Evil games will be more kind of like an American Horror Story thing, where it'll be like they won't really have a lot of connection. They'll just be like one and done games. Fascinating, but after how bad Resident Evil 6 went, I can imagine why they kind of went down this road. I also deeply feel bad for every Silent Hill fan watching the 8th game of Resident Evil get so much hype. I deeply apologize for every Silent Hill fan. Y'all almost had it with PT. You almost had it with PT, but then... that happened. Yeah. Anyway, so not only that, but we also get our trailer for Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which is the new animated series coming to Netflix. It's going to be an animated series. Yeah. It looks really good. From the 1-minute trailer, I'm really excited to see Leon back as the main character, and it's an animated series. I thought it was I thought it was going to be a legit animated film. Nope. Straight up animated series. So I'm all for it. I'm all for Resident Evil getting that. And we got more information about the movie. That's cool, which is apparently still on its way later this year. Well, I'm still not sold on the name. I am still not sold on this name regardless. I am not sold on Welcome to Raccoon City. It just feels too fan-filmy to me. Like, I don't get it. Like, it just feels way too... it doesn't roll with me. But hopefully the movie will make up for the title, which is just not gelling with me. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was another major piece of news that came out that made me go, oh, that happened. And this was something I think a lot of people were not expecting. I actually remember doing a video of this a little while ago. I was like, wouldn't it be fun if this happened? And it happened. So, yes, Resident Evil is going to appear in Dead by Daylight. Yeah, Dead by Daylight is finally getting a crossover DLC with Resident Evil. That's something I've wanted for a while. Resident Evil and Dead by Daylight just work so well, and they've already had so many killers before. Like, if, you know... I think, yeah, Pyramid Head got here from Silent Hill before Resident Evil. Isn't that funny? Like, Pyramid Head got here first before anyone over on the Resident Evil side. So, I just think that's funny. Man, sorry about my phone's going off. It's just, you know, I'm just getting notifications. Just ignore that. I know it's probably, you guys have been probably hearing that. It's like, what is that horrible buzzing? Well, now you fucking know. So, anyway, so, yeah, this was kind of the crux I wanted to talk about with the Resident Evil stuff, because I love Dead by Daylight. I've been loving how they've basically had every slasher here. Well, almost every slasher. Sorry, Jason, I know you're kind of wrapped up in a legal war. Predator's right there with you. So, sorry about it. But yeah, let's talk about what could be in Resident Evil. Like, who could be the killer or the survivor? Like, who is going to be taking up that mantle? Now, the two I'm thinking of right off the bat, there's two possible, three. Well, I say three, but the third one's really unlikely, but it's still like a possibility. But the two major ones I'm going to say are probably going to be the killers in the game for on the Resident Evil side is either going to be Mr. X, aka the Tyrant. That's my first pick. Is that it's probably going to be Mr. X as the killer. So it's probably going to be Mr. X, aka the Tyrant, or it's going to be Nemesis. Nemesis is another one that may be it. And finally, and this is the most unlikely, but it's still a runner, is one of the liquors. Is a liquor. A liquor just on its own. Like, that's unlikely, but I still feel like it would probably be, like, just because of the size of it and how, like, maneuverable it could be with the tongue, I think that would make it, that's a possibility. But the two biggest ones are Nemesis and Mr. X. I am saying, like, I would like to see Nemesis because I really enjoy Nemesis, but I think it's going to be Mr. X. I think it's just, he just makes sense for this type of gameplay, of, like, how he moves and how he uses his abilities. He just makes sense for the game. Like, out of everyone here, he just makes the most sense for being here in this game. So, yeah. As for Survivor, it's probably going to be Claire and or Leon. There's no doubt about it. Like, Claire Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy, those are probably... It's either going to be one or both of them. Maybe Chris as well. Maybe Winners. I doubt that, though. I doubt Winners. But you never know. Hell, it could be Lady Dimitrescu if they're trying to build up... they're trying to build up the next Resident Evil game. There's always a possibility of that happening, too, right? Her finishing move could be like, "Step on me, mommy," and she just steps on you and you just die from a boner. Anyway, but yeah, it's probably for slasher. It's probably going to be Mr. X, but I wouldn't put it out of possibility for Nemesis either. And personally, I like Nemesis more than Mr. X. He's just more intimidating, scarier. Well, Mr. X is pretty... Well, the Tyrant is pretty scary, too, but, like... I don't know, I just have more fond memories with Nemesis than Mr. X. That's just me, though. But, yeah, all in all, I am really excited for all this news. I'm still wondering about that live-action Resident Evil series they announced, the one with the twins. It just sounds like a more adult version of Gravity Falls. Like, two kids that are Weskers go to Raccoon City and discover mysteries. That's literally what the plot synopsis is for this live-action Netflix series. But I heard jack all about that during this whole thing. Like, I heard, like, there was more hype for Infinite Darkness than there, and the Dead by Daylight reveal, and they didn't even hint at the live-action series. So is that canceled, or is that still in production? I don't know. All it is that it's safe to say that the Resident 2021, Capcom is pulling out all the stops for not just Resident Evil Village, but Resident Evil in general for their anniversary year. I wish more studios did that for their major franchises, but fuck me, I guess. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of all this news for Resident Evil? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Who do you think is going to be who do you think is going to be the killer in the Dead by Daylight storyline, and who do you think the survivors are? Also, are you excited for Infinite Darkness, and are you also excited for Village? Are you guys excited for Resident Evil Village? I know. And also, are you still excited for the movie? And do you think they're even going to bother with the live-action series at this point? Anyway, just comment below. Oh, goddamn phone, come on. Anyway, Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.